Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Mel. I grew up playing outside.
And I grew up doing something meaningful, watching movies and TV.
I never had cable, and we finally bought a VCR about the same time DVD players hit the market.
Throughout our marriage, Mel has sadly missed many of my pop culture references and movie quotes.
So it's time to catch up on all the films I missed.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And how are you this evening?
I am good. How are you?
I'm also great. We just had a lovely dinner with lovely people, and now I think I am ready to ask you my questions I normally ask you.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Do you know what we're watching tonight?
I do not know what we're watching tonight.
Are you sure?
Yes, all I know is that the kids are watching it with us.
Ooh, that's a pretty solid, good clue.
Yep.
Okay, well, this is a year anniversary for when we started doing this.
Yeah.
So I've been saving a special movie by the name of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Have you heard of this film?
I have heard of this film.
Mm-hmm.
I might have seen it.
No.
I don't know.
There's no way your parents would have let you see this film.
Okay. Oh, was it live action?
Live action? I mean, I don't know. Was it? You tell me. I'm getting too excited. You tell me
I
what
loved
you know
the
about
cartoon.
it.
I loved the cartoon.
This is not a cartoon.
I know.
Okay.
I think I saw it.
How did you? What? Well, tell me more about it then. Prove it.
It's live action.
I think I need more. The court needs more than that.
I just have a dim memory of it.
Okay, can you give me some details?
No, I can't give you details. No, it's a dim memory, which means there's no details.
Okay, well, what are some of the characters? What? Tell me more about.
No, you're just gonna have to go with me here.
Are you serious? You're giving me nothing.
I know that's all I have. I think.
What do you know about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
There's 4 of them.
Okay.
Named after the artist greats.
Okay.
April O'Neil is
Elvis is an artist great. Is one of them named Elvis?
Michelangelo, Donatello, Leonardo, and Raphael.
Oh, it's not Prince, Garth Brooks, and Johnny Cash.
You forgot Madonna.
I did forget Madonna. That would be the April O'Neil character. Oh my goodness.
April O'Neil, journalist, usually wears yellow.
Okay.
There's a van that she drives. And then there's Shredder, who's a bad guy, and there's Splinter, who's their master, and he's a rat. Okay. And I watched the cartoon.
I was going to say, this is all sounding like the cartoon to me.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Okay. So, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, seminal film of my childhood.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, yes. Yes. 100 times yes.
Okay, awesome.
This was the movie of my childhood.
Wow.
Like apex.
So this is a special one. So that's what you're trying to convey to me.
I'm not trying to convey anything. I'm being honest about how I feel about this movie and its position in my heart and life. So.
Did you see it in the theaters?
Whoa. I feel like we'll get into this after. Yes, I saw it in theaters. Yes. I saw it in theaters like 7 times.
Whoa.
We can get more into that later, though.
Okay.
This is about you. So if you were designing your movie poster of this movie, what would it look like?
Well, I think the movie posters looked like this. There's like a city street, and then there's the manhole cover.
Yes.
And then it's up a little bit, and there's eyes peeking out.
Yes. Whose eyes?
I don't remember. The purple one.
The purple one?
I don't know.
Okay.
Just a guess.
I was just being cheeky. Okay. Great. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I have so many. I can't wait to hear what the music is like, what their voices are like. Who plays April O'Neil? Who plays the adult? Who's the enemy? Is it Krang? Krang?
You got it. It's Krang, yeah.
Or Craig.
That's the character you're thinking of. I'm not confirming what's in the movie.
I can't wait. So let's do this.
Okay.
Woohoo.
Why don't you say the catchphrase, the Ninja Turtle catchphrase?
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga, dude.
Our family grows. The city itself will be our playground to use as we please. Rewarding ourselves and punishing our enemies.
We've been looking for you, Miss O'Neil.
There is a new enemy. Freaks of nature. Together, we will punish these creatures.
What the heck was that?
Looked like sort of a big turtle in a trench coat.
I love being a turtle!
What can I say but cowabunga doo?
That is the word. That's all you can say.
It's not the bird. For turtles, cowabunga is the word.
Yeah. Even Splinter knows it.
Even Splinter knows that. That's true. So.
Whoa. I still, after watching it, I still can't remember if I saw it when I was a kid.
I was just going to say, like, first off, I'm not surprised that you thought you saw it because when this came out, it was huge.
Yeah.
Huge. It was like so big. It made $200 million, which in 1990, that was a lot. It was a lot, especially for something people probably thought was just a kid's cartoon type movie, you know? I mean, it cost $13 million to make. It made $200 million. Anyway, this was everywhere though.
That's crazy.
They had Burger King placement, as we pointed out, like when they were in the warehouse in there, and Burger King like fast food advertisement. It was all in that. It was all over the place. And of course, there was the cartoons too. So.
Yes, yeah. I was a big fan of the cartoons, so also that could be confusing my brain.
The cartoon, I also was a huge fan of the cartoon and the toys and the lunchbox and all that. I just fell right into that trap.
In our home right now,
yes,
we have a folder.
Correct.
That you can put your homework in.
Correct.
That's, from this movie. Yes. And we also have a garbage can in our bathroom that is
we do
from this movie.
I have saved them, yes. I think technically the garbage can is from a cartoon one.
Yeah, I was just going to say that as I was picturing it.
It's okay.
I was going to bring it out here and show the audience. But then I thought maybe not.
But then I thought, you could rattle it around so people could hear it. I also have, I think my lunchbox, something happened to it, but I still have the thermos.
We do.
We still have the thermos.
We do still have the thermos.
Yes, we do. Oh, good stuff.
So did you enjoy watching it again?
Yeah, because I got to watch our kids watching it and seeing them nerd out over it was just so fun.
They were cracking up.
Yeah.
They loved the flashback when you saw the turtles as babies in their origin story.
Oh, yeah.
They have been like quoting that ever since.
Yes. That was definitely their favorite scene. Like right when the movie was done, we had to go back and watch that scene again. Yes. Which, to be perfectly fair, I probably wanted to do that too, but we couldn't because I saw it in theaters. Like, I don't think I'm exaggerating. I think I saw this 8 or 9 times in theaters.
Whoa. Who was bringing you to the movies that much?
I don't even remember. Maybe my parents were just like, we just want you out of here. And they just left me at the theater. At this point, I don't know.
That could be.
Yeah.
That's super cool though.
This is one of the last movies I saw in a drive-in theater that was like near my house. That was kind of like near houses. Like a lot of times the surviving drive-in theaters that I've been to in the last decade are kind of in the middle of nowhere. They're a little bit away from things, Yeah. But drive-ins used to just be in random neighborhoods, like just kind of around. And there was one by where I grew up, and this was one of the last movies I saw there before they tore it down.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was so cool. You'd be driving on the highway and you could see what movies were playing.
Nice.
And you'd switch your radio over to the frequency for it. And you'd listen to it for like, I don't know, the minute it takes you as you're driving past. It was just something fun to do.
Who's your favorite turtle? And has it changed?
Wow, that's a great question. I have my serious face on right now, and I'm accessing my memory banks.
Yep.
I'm still going to go with Raphael. I like Raphael a lot.
Which color is he?
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. Have grace. I did not watch the movie 7 times.
I thought you were trolling me right now. You watched the cartoon, though. He is the original color that all Ninja Turtles had in the beginning of the comic series.
Okay, I'm going to guess red.
Yeah, because you just saw pictures in the thing you were looking at, I think.
No, that was really just a guess.
Oh, okay, yeah. They were all originally red.
By the way, I've only just now, as an adult, I can now remember Huey, Dewey, and Louie and which colors they are.
Oh, I get tripped up on those colors all the time, but the Ninja Turtles are easy in my head.
So Raphael, the blue one, you said?
It's the red one.
Well, aren't there 2 red ones?
No, there's one red one.
What's the other warm color one?
Warm color?
I feel like in the movie there's 2
There's
red.
An orange color. There's red, orange,
it's
purple,
like a red
and blue.
Orange.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know who Orange is?
Who was the one? Okay, so the characters of the movie.
Yes.
There was one turtle who kind of grumbled to himself a lot.
Yeah,
and he had like a New York.
Yeah.
He sounded like an
out
old
for
man.
a movie, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's Raphael.
That's Raphael. Okay.
Yeah,
And that's your favorite.
He's my favorite, yeah.
Okay.
He's the loner bruiser character. He's angsty.
Bruiser or broody?
No, well, he's both.
Okay.
He's a bruiser and he's broody. Did you see how many Foot Clan members he took out?
Yes.
He was amazing.
That was crazy. All the Foot Clan soldiers,
Yes.
it was just like the cartoon that I remember.
Yeah.
Like they just pour out of nowhere.
Yes.
There's like
Yes.
hundreds of them.
Yeah. This has got to be like, before the Marvel movies happened, this was totally one of the best like adaptations, like going from the page to like movie, like solid. Like even we're circling back, but I'm not forgetting the colors of the bandana because I want you to test on those. But the effects for this though, I was watching it with a more critical eye this time because I probably haven't even seen it this century. Like last time I saw this was probably in the 90s, I would imagine, maybe the early aughts. But you can definitely see in some scenes they have their stunt faces on because they don't move and don't have all the animatronics and stuff. But in general, like even the way that they hid the wires and stuff like that they did it in such a way that was really like you could believe it because turtles have those folds around their shells, you see like the skin, like where they suck their heads in and around the bodies and stuff.
Okay.
So they kind of like incorporated that into the bodies of the suits, which is so cool. Like it doesn't immediately take you out of it. It holds up really well, I think.
I think that's the magic of Bryan Henson
the
and
Henson
the Creature
Company.
Shop.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It was great. It still totally holds up. And I love how the faces of the turtles are all slightly different. They're not just like carbon copies of each other. It's cool.
Fun fact, this is the highest grossing independent film until the Blair Witch Project came along. That's a long run.
That is a pretty long run. That's like
almost 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years. Yeah. But still.
Independent film.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's very much in line with just Ninja Turtles in general. It was just a random idea that came to two artists, and then they were independent comic makers. They just published the book, and then it just hit something in the zeitgeist and exploded.
Yeah, we were watching a little thing with them, young them.
Yes.
Like from however many years ago. And they were just sharing that they were just doing it to be silly. That was like their thing. Like
make
just
each other
to
laugh.
be silly and make each other laugh.
Yeah.
And it was born out of that. That was really cool.
The first pictures too they drew of the turtles were pretty funny.
Yeah.
It was more like the tortoise cartoons you think of with the tortoise and the hare, where the shell is like big and dumpy. Looks almost like a capital D,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was neat. They don't look like they can move at all, like do ninja moves. Their arms are kind of feeble. And
they didn't get athletic until they redid that.
Exactly. Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Yes.
So back to the colors. Who's the yellow or orange? Who's the orange Ninja Turtle?
Didn't we just say it's Raphael?
No. The red is Raphael.
Leonardo.
No.
Okay. Donatello.
No. 1 in 4 chance. Do you remember the fourth one?
I should go buy a lottery ticket.
You should.
I always have trouble remembering all four. Leonardo.
Oh my goodness.
Raphael. Donatello. Michelangelo.
Yes, that's the orange one.
That's the orange one.
Do you know what his weapon is?
Oh my gosh. I did not know I was going to be quizzed. The staff?
Nope. It's called a bow, for the record.
There's no arrow that goes with it.
I know there's not. It blew my mind as a kid when I learned that.
Someone has nunchucks.
That's Michelangelo.
Okay. And the nunchucks were really cool, like the way that Splinter got the bad guy.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That
was
really
awesome.
Neat. Yeah.
Then there's also like these like little dagger swords.
Sai. They're called. It's called the Sai.
Okay, weapons expert.
Only Ninja Turtle weapons, I promise.
And I don't know what the fourth weapon is. Cunning wit.
Cunning wit. I'll give you a hint. They prepared a dish with it. Casey Jones
sword.
did. Sword, yeah.
Okay.
Katana, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember Casey Jones from the cartoon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
He's way different in the cartoon. I don't think you ever saw his face in the cartoon.
No, you didn't.
He always had the mask on, yeah.
Was he a good guy in the cartoon or a bad guy?
He was kind of like how they did pretty good with it. He was like ambiguous in the cartoon. Like he would, from what I recall, he would help out and stuff, but he would also just mess with the turtles sometimes, from what I can remember. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so in this movie, there's a couple of conventions that I did not expect.
Please.
Like really, one was really cool. They're both really cool. The first one is like they wouldn't show the action at first.
Okay.
A lot of times.
Oh, like they're in the shadows and you just hear noises and sound effects.
Like the room would fill with smoke.
Yeah.
And then you'd hear whoop cha, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then the lights would come up, the smoke would clear, and the turtles are standing there, and there's like a pile of foot soldiers on the ground. Yeah.
This is very much in line with the Harry and the Hendersons thing we were talking about, where in promotions they didn't show anything. This one, I think a lot of the promotions had the turtles. It wasn't a secret.
Okay.
But the convention you're talking about, like keeping it for the suspense of the plot, was cool. I liked it too.
Yeah, it was really effective. So you didn't really see them really kicking butt until 3/4 of the way through, and then the last big one. Yeah.
I'm just like, when I was a kid, I still get like goosebumps because of the memories of being a child. Like when I saw the previews and stuff, and you still didn't have like good glimpses of stuff. And then when you're watching the beginning, you're like, show me the turtles. I want to see the turtles. And then, you see them in the shadows and that. I was going bonkers. I was like vibrating out of the seat probably.
That's awesome.
It was so fun. It was such a great movie to watch as a kid. I loved it a lot. Yeah.
The other convention that stood out to me, and they did this a couple times, and one time they did it was super cool. When someone was like telling a story or the backstory or a flashback, everything would go dark.
Oh yeah.
And there'd be like the person who was speaking had like a spotlight on them, and then you'd have some music, and it was almost like a beat poetry reading or a jazz show or something.
Yeah.
And so you'd have a music, and then they'd be like spotlit, totally black around them, and then you'd see the flashback too that would be going to. They did that a couple times. And the one that you were just humming the music for was my favorite. It was the origin of how Splinter, and how Splinter came to be in America.
Yes,
how he found the turtles.
That was
wonderful. I loved that sequence so much. That was what I wanted to watch again. As soon as the movie was done, I would have gone back to that.
I mean, seeing a rat do like his different ninja moves and stuff is just hilarious. And I told our oldest, I nerded out with her a bit. It's like, that Splinter's not really a rat. He's really a human who touches a rat and then touches the ooze and becomes a rat. And he picks up the turtles, and then the turtles.
Wait. Stop.
I'm rocking your world right now.
Stop.
Yeah.
Splinter.
Yes.
I saw him in this movie.
Yes.
In a cage.
Yes.
In a ninja's house.
Yes.
As a rat.
That's correct for the movie. That's right.
Okay.
But in the comics and in the cartoon, he's a human and he becomes a rat man. And the reason the turtles become humanoids because they touched a human. It the ooze combines two different species.
Okay.
So
I thought you were trying to tell me that about the movie.
It wasn't a dream sequence. No. I was just giving her some nerd details. There's a good reason why I think you're drawn to those segments. Steve Barron, the director of this film, also a prolific music video director. Take On Me. He directed that.
Yes.
He did a ton of stuff with David Bowie and Bryan Adams and all these different things. So I think he did one of the biggest MTV ones. What's it called? Dire Straits' Money for Nothing.
I don't know that video.
Money for Nothing.
I know the song.
Yeah, okay. It was crazy because it had computer effects. It was computer animation in it.
Cool.
In whatever that was, 84, whatever it was.
He also did Billie Jean.
There you go. Yeah. So I think that's why you have that different feel, and it was so stylized.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Oh my gosh, that totally makes sense. Well, I loved it.
We haven't even gotten to what the movie's about. I'm gushing too much. Yeah, you're right. There's turtles.
They have to fight the bad guy.
They have to fight the bad guy. People fight them. There's drama. I won't say whether or not they win. I don't want to ruin the movie for everybody.
It takes place in New York. There's accents. There's pizza.
Yes.
You made me hungry for New York pizza, to be honest.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
I loved the Splinter. So the Splinter puppet.
Yeah. Oh,
he
my
was
goodness.
Amazing.
The children.
That was the best.
The children, every time he came on, even when he was beat up, bruised, hanging on a wall, they would go, "Aww,
I know.
He was so cute."
We love rats in our family.
That's true.
So we especially like Splinter.
That's true. he is really like, they did an amazing job with him too.
Yeah.
Which turtle was your favorite, like makeup wise? Which had the expressions and the structure? Because each of their bodies had like, they were composed a bit differently in how they looked.
It's funny that you assumed that I differentiated them.
Oh, well,
and I picked out my favorite. I didn't pick a favorite.
I think this is just saying we're going to have to watch this movie about 8 more times.
You have to be in the mood of a kid to watch it. You have to like put yourself in that mind frame of feeling like you did when you were in the theater, like anxious to see your friends, like your little superheroes come to life. How did that,
like, I have a completely different perspective than you. What did you think? You're an adult who just probably saw this for the first time. What was it like? Were you like, this is the most boring thing I've ever seen? Or were you like, oh, this is okay?
No, it wasn't boring. No, it's not boring. Okay. It's fun. It's you just have to embrace the fun and not like nitpick. You can't be like, oh, this is, I don't know, I can't even think of an example. My brain sometimes would have wanted to pick out some nitpicky things of,
this is a safe space.
Here it is.
You can say it.
Okay, I will say it. The manhole covers.
Yes.
Those are heavy.
Yes, they are.
In real life, those are super heavy.
Yeah.
And yet here's everyone just lifting him up and leaving him off and diving in and all of this stuff.
Yes.
So you have to like, that part of your brain that's like analyzing, you have to just turn it off.
Oh.
And like be a 10-year-old kid and just like experience like what it would be like for them and to see the turtles looking so realistic, so lifelike.
When you said that about, it's just suspension of disbelief. I'm in this world, I do this thing. I do that all the time with Star Wars and lightsabers. Like, why don't the lightsabers just keep going? Like, anyway. Yeah, totally. So in this movie, there were the turtles. It took a lot to bring them to life because you have the actors inside of them.
Yes.
You have the puppeteers who are working the animatronics and the faces.
Often more than one per turtle.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you have the stunt people who are inside of the turtles. So tons of different people to bring them to life.
Yeah.
So for the body actors, though, like the actors who were in it most of the time with the animatronics, did you know that they're actually in the movie too, outside of costume?
Really?
Yeah.
They can do that because like you never see their face.
You never see them.
So what do you mean? Where are they?
Do you know? Do you want to guess as to where they might be, or you just like?
Well, so I've seen what they look like. They look like they look younger. It's weird because when I was watching it, I was like, boy, these seem like grown men who are acting.
Yeah.
Because of their, I don't know, the way they talked.
Okay.
But they actually are younger than I thought. I'm gonna guess like the foot soldiers. Like in the scenes where
that's a really good guess.
Big groups of
groups
kids.
Okay.
That's
I'll give you one. That's one.
Okay.
The foot soldier who he was talking to April in the subway before Raphael rescues her. And he goes, I have a message for you. And he opens his hand and then he slaps her, tells her to be quiet. That was Leonardo. No, sorry. That was Donatello.
So he got to speak?
Yeah.
Whoa. Dual roles.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Now, the other ones, another one you're never going to guess, so I'm just going to tell you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Leonardo, the actor who played him, was behind Tatsu in the Tatsu. It's Tatsu. It was behind him in the background, just standing there. Well, you know how there's a group of like kids behind him when Casey Jones breaks in?
Yeah.
And they fight? There's just a group of kids. He's just back there.
Okay.
But the other ones were cool ones I knew. I actually found these ones out as a kid. The other two I had to look up. Wow. But Raphael, I almost screamed it out when we were watching the movie. There's a scene where Raphael is like running and he's chasing Casey Jones because he's really upset. He just got like beat by him, Yeah. He like got launched. And so he's chasing him. He hits a taxi. Remember that?
Yes.
And when the taxi stops, there's just a random, of course, New York taxi driver was like, oh, it was a turtle in a trench coat, huh?
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, what is that? Who was that? That was him.
Oh.
So in the movie, his line is, who was that guy? And it was him. Yeah.
So crazy.
And then, the Michelangelo character. What does Michelangelo love the most?
Gadgets.
That's Donatello.
Pizza. Okay.
And there's a scene with the pizza delivery guy. That's Michelangelo.
I like that scene too. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you, like when you were a kid, you knew what the guys looked like and you were watching the movie and watching for them?
This was probably mid, I didn't know that the first time I watched it.
Right.
It was probably like, I don't know. I don't even remember how I would have known that, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Because like in 1990, it would have been like, I don't know, there was an Entertainment Tonight show about it and they talk about it. And then I go watch it again to see them in real time. I don't know, probably something like that.
Okay.
Because there was no internet, nothing like that.
So you've seen the reboot.
Which one?
The latest one. There was one that was just in the theaters.
Oh yeah, Mutant
right?
Mayhem. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mutant Mayhem.
Yeah.
Great
Mutant
title.
Mayhem. We also saw the Mutant Mayhem Ninja Turtle mobile in New York City while we were there.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
That was really cool.
So what do you think? Like, which one would you want to watch again?
Oh, I mean, one is animated and one is live action. So.
Oh, the new one is animated?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah, it's animated. So
Okay.
It's completely, I think the new one, they're totally products of the times in which they were made. The one in 1990 very much feels like New York in 1990.
Very gritty,
Yep.
dark,
Yep.
crime everywhere.
Yeah.
Like a little old lady gets her TV stolen
Yes.
off of the the fire escape.
Yes.
When she just looks down.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a dark time.
The craziest one is when there's a guy delivering packages and he has like
Yes.
a U-Haul truck and like, I don't know, 80 or 100 boxes are stolen, 200 boxes. That's the craziest one.
Yeah.
They're very different movies though. Like I personally I like the 90s and the 80s like dinge, like so that'd be for me one I would watch more probably.
Mm-hmm.
The new one's solid though, but it very much feels like it has a lot of themes that are just discussed nowadays, and like the Ninja Turtles are always about being hidden and staying separate.
Yeah.
And they really deal with them like becoming a part of like not being secret anymore and being seen in the world and trying to integrate it into the world. So that's much more of a today's message versus the 1980s and 90s. So
I always worried about them. I mean, they're teenagers in the film, and I always worry about them like growing up and being lonely because there's they'll just only have each other.
Yeah.
It
could be worse. They could only have themselves, I guess. At least they have each other.
Well, okay.
Splinter, he's
I'm
all by
still worried
himself.
about them.
That's true. I worried about him too. And I'm pretty sure the cartoon had episodes where they were like older. Or maybe I just made cartoons of my own actually in a class when I was supposed to be paying attention. Children don't do that. And I just drew about what it would be like when they were older. Entirely possible.
That could be.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple famous people who like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Do you want to hear who they are? Do you know who they are?
I know who one of them is.
Who? Who do you have?
Robin Williams.
Yeah, Robin Williams.
He was giving the actress who does April O'Neil like notes. She had no idea what she was signing up for, basically, Judith Hoig. And he was doing Cadillac Man with her. And he started telling her about her backstory. And I think he like lent her some issues so she could learn about April O'Neil.
That's awesome.
Yeah. They totally were going to have her in a yellow jumpsuit too, but it just did not work. So they did the homage of the coat.
I like the coat.
Yeah, I do too.
Because, I don't know, like jumpsuits were not in the 90s. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Other famous people though, that are in it or like it?
That like it.
Well, I'm going to guess, I'm blanking on his name right now. The comedian, he's the one who made Mutant Mayhem. I'm just blanking on his name.
No, it's not him.
Okay.
Any more guesses?
Yeah, it's my. Yeah.
Oh, Seth Rogen?
Thank you. I can never remember his name. I can always remember his laughs though.
Well, I've got you covered.
Thanks.
No, we actually met his son at Comic-Con.
Oh, Mel Brooks?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Mel Brooks is a fan.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Apparently he saw the writer of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Okay.
He was wearing like a jacket that had like TMNT on it.
Yeah.
And so Mel Brooks like went over and struck up a friendship with him.
Very
and
cool.
Was like really into it and asking him about it. And he thought they should do a Teenage Mutant Ninja Grandfather Turtles movie.
Like what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there was like an SNL skit when this happened where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had grown up or something. I
feel like I've seen that sketch.
Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he was kind of like in the vein of that, thinking you should do a Grandfather Turtles movie.
Everybody wants to know. Yeah, because they were middle-aged in the SNL sketch, I think. And
I think so.
Yeah, having to deal with mortgages and all this other stuff.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. It's very exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have more famous people I need to guess?
No, that's all I know of. But I'm sure there's a lot more famous people that love
I would be
TMNT.
shocked if Samuel Jackson doesn't like them just because he's a huge comic nerd. But that's totally hearsay. Don't attribute that to me or anything else.
He's a comic nerd?
Oh, yeah. We saw him at Comic-Con.
We did.
We did, yeah. At the panel for, I think it's Black Samurai he did like a Cartoon Network. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was his one of his shows.
Awesome.
You spoiled it for me, but actor that you know, love in so many other things. This is the first movie that I was aware of that he was in. His name is
Sam Rockwell.
Yes. Does not even look like him. He's so young.
No, like when we just found that out today.
Yeah.
Like we were researching and saw that he was in the movie and I gasped out loud.
Yeah.
I don't remember what he was just a henchman guy, right? Or a foot
He
soldier?
was I don't think he was a foot soldier. I think he was like kind of like when you go to a bar, he's like the head bartender. He's the guy who worked. He was in the place where all of the wares were, where all the things they would steal were. You always saw him there. He was never in like outfit as a ninja. And he was always there like explaining things or like, basically just in the background, kind of seemed to know what he was doing.
Okay.
He was one of the older ones. I think a lot of the foot soldiers type stuff, like they have a very Peter Pan, Lost Boys vibe going on.
Yes, totally.
He was kind of like the ringleader, kind of like that, the whatever you want to call it. The entry level before you get into like deep into the clan.
Okay. That was a really cool discovery.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. He's fun. Okay. What else? What do there's more of these, right?
Yes, there's a ton more. I had no idea.
Yeah, there are. And I'm probably going to make you watch the second one. I'm sorry. I'm probably gonna. Just because I haven't seen it in so long and I want to see if it holds up. Because the first one that movie totally held up.
Yeah.
I look at you with conviction, daring you to disagree.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to start that fight. No. Yes, this movie holds up.
Yeah.
And
what?
No, go ahead.
Well, first off, there's one more thing I wanted to tell you that's a weird connection. So we had the whole Harry and the Hendersons like hiding connection, the convention of like in the plot not showing them.
Yeah.
We also had another actor from a movie we recently watched that was in this movie as a voice actor.
Huh. Okay.
Do you know who it was?
No. Was it the voice of Splinter?
Nope.
Was it the voice of Shredder?
Nope. Do you know any of the famous voice actors? Because there was one that's, we've seen a couple of his movies on this podcast.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Donatello's voice is Corey Feldman.
Donatello's voice?
Yes.
Is Corey Feldman?
Yes.
He's everywhere.
He is everywhere.
Wow. Okay.
That's you know which Corey that is, right?
Yes, I know which Corey that is.
Just making sure.
But because in the thing we were watching, like so is it because there's like someone who did the body acting, but he just did the voice?
Correct. The thing we saw was just the puppeteer actors. Yeah,
lucky for him, because we like the body acting, like being in those costumes was brutal, brutally hot. They were like just. They
didn't have any AC in the studios like at the first week or something, so it was just crazy. And then they kind of fixed it so they could, and all the normal stuff. The crazy part is a lot of times when you hear people interviewed about that kind of stuff, they're always like, "Oh, it was so bad." But there was a guy in the one of the four who was like a veteran at doing it, and he was like, "Yeah, no, these suits seriously, like I've done a lot of these, and this one was actually horrible." Like, yeah. One of the stunt people got so claustrophobic in it, he like ripped the head off the stunt head.
Yeah.
Like, because you had to like have a special attachment to get it off or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which of course Bryan Henson was like, "We understand."
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally. There.
Totally. So the voice of Leonardo is Brian Tashi, who was in Revenge of the Nerds.
Is
the only Japanese actor.
I was going to say, is he that guy?
Yes. Which, ironically, they say, "Do you know Kung Fu?" And he says, "No." And they go, "Good." And then they like pester him.
Right. Whoa.
So he got his revenge.
Crazy connection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. That one surprised me. I didn't know that. But actually, the voice of Splinter, you asked, he's Elmo.
Oh.
Yeah.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that explains why he's so breathy.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So if you were in this movie, like around the time when the turtles got the ooze exposed to them, what creature would you be? Like, what kind of creature would you mutate into? Let's just assume that it's not the whole human connection that I explained earlier.
Right.
Don't get bogged up. What creature would you be that mutates?
Whoa. That's tricky because, like, obviously my first thought is a cat.
Ooh.
But
you'd be a good cat.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm just not sure about how that would, like, because then you have like all that fur to take care of. And I don't know. That was my first instinct. And then also like maybe a bird.
Bird, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. What about you?
I would probably be a moth.
A moth.
A mothman.
Moths are so cool.
They are.
Except for when they invade your pantry.
That's all. I probably have moths on the brain because of that in our lives, but yeah.
Well, I guess you'd be more. I was just picturing an animal that just got bigger and had like. Oh no! Like sense, but you're picturing like kind of a.
Like if you were in the Ninja Turtles cartoon, right? Like they're all different kinds of mutants. I would be a moth that becomes like a Mothman. That'd be me.
Huh. So why moth and not like butterfly or?
I'm thinking bird. Contextually of the sewer. There's probably more moths in the sewer with the ooze and stuff.
Oh, okay. Or a bat.
Oh, yeah, it could be a bat. I just feel like my luck would be moth, though, honestly. I wouldn't be lucky enough to be the bat.
I'd like to be, I think a cat would be good because you can like jump really well. Yeah. Great reflexes.
I mean, I could be attracted to lights all over the place and run into them. That'd be my superpower.
That would be your kryptonite.
Well, it would also be my power. It would be a good distraction for the turtles. We would team up well. People would like flash the lights and go, "What are you doing over there?" And I go, "Poof," and just smash into them.
There you go.
And then the turtles would be protected. We'd be friends.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, what, if any, messages do you think were in this film, Melissa?
Wow. Why don't you take this one?
Oh man.
You've had a lot of time to think about it.
I have. There's two messages, I think. One, just enjoy your life. No matter what your situation, who you are, what you look like, what has happened to you, just enjoy your life and be joyful. Because that's how the turtles are, except for Raphael. And two is just family first.
Where'd you get that?
Vin Diesel, I think.
No, from this movie. Where did it come from, this movie?
Are you joking right now?
No, I want to know.
Oh my goodness. Like, you see the overtones of the father-son relationship, like in this. You see the traces and roots of how, like, April O'Neil it's her dad's place, and she lives above it, just wanting to connect with her heritage and her family. She's a news reporter and living in this modern world, and then she lives above this antique store. It was a passion thing for her dad. She's like, I lose money on it, just, yeah.
There's also at the end where the foot soldiers realize that they don't have it's not a family, it's a gang.
Exactly. And then
there's no love, there's no acceptance.
Yeah. There's that whole thread too. Like literally the villains, the good guys, ancillary characters, all are dealing with like wanting family and
wow.
Yeah.
I see it in a whole new light now.
Connection.
Awesome. Connection. Yeah. Well, that was fun.
It was.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.